Hello there. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. I'm Scotty. You're not. And we're looking at Season 6, Episode 3. Wither. Wither. I thought when I saw the title, I'm like, is that a one of those ones? As I mentioned, when Clark landed, escaped from the. When Clark escaped from the Phantom Zone, he didn't escape alone. Doesn't have to sneeze. But so that kind of follows up on that. So we start with people making out. Yes, Chloe and Jimmy are at the makeout point because every town has one except for my town because I never seen a makeout point. Would you have one the way? Shut up. We don't have a place where people go to make out, as far as I know. Unless I guess Todd Park people would sneak off to, but not so much anymore. But we don't have a dedicated place that you see in movies and everything. We go to this place to make up people. No, we don't really have that. But yeah, and Jimmy is there trying to convince her, hey, I heard something was going on out here, which I don't think he actually did. He was just trying to. She's like, yeah, something weird, like two people at a makeout spot not making out. He's like, yeah, maybe we should act the point. So he's like, puts his arm around her. She's like, you coming on to me? He's like, and then this couple goes into the woods for some reason. I still don't understand why they did it. You see them running back there, and then you hear a scream. So Chloe and Jimmy go to check it out, and the girl is dead and the guy is missing. Roll credits. Somebody. Yeah, that's. If I'm not, Lex is having a charity ball. This is the first annual, but spoiler alert, we never see another one of these balls again, I don't think. I could have phrased it differently. We don't see one of Lex's balls again. No, that's not it. Lex doesn't do one of these balls again. It doesn't happen again. That's what I'm saying. But also, he and Lana are having a bit of problems as he's convinced that they're more than roommates, that there's something between them, and she doesn't really want to move forward because of Clark, of course. Because every time you try to move forward with Clark, something happened. But it's not that way with Lex, even though he's still hiding stuff from her. I don't know. But there's a search and rescue party for the missing fella, and while out searching, Clark comes upon who he is told is a park ranger, a woman named Gloria. The actress seems familiar to me, but I couldn't put my finger on who she is. Not like I've seen her before, it feels like. Meanwhile, Oliver Queen shows up at the Kent farm to talk to Martha, but Lois doesn't know it's Oliver, so she thinks he's a courier, tips him, and kicks him out before Martha goes in and is like, she's like, so what's that? Oh, it's something from Queen Enterprises. And she's like, where's the guy who delivered it? Oh, the courier? I said I paid him his tip and sent him on his merry way. She's like, tall, good looking, blonde, nice on the eyes. And she's like, well, Mr. Kent, do you have a thing for the courier? She's like, no. That was Oliver Queen. She's like, I was like, oh. So she shows up at Oliver's place to kind of talk to him. And it seems like he's sort of been spying on her because he has a dress for her and a costume for the ball. And they're going to go together. Yeah. Yeah. Jimmy then gets a little, and I may go out of order on some of this, I don't know. He gets jealous because they were out there without him, and he says, I just get a little bit upset when my girl takes off, and she's like, your girl? She has that little smile on her face, like, really? That kind of thing. She's like, yeah. They haven't officially started dating it, I don't know. But yeah. So they find the boy because they found him when they were out there. They found him. They were in a hospital. They see that there's something in his stomach, which they find out is seeds, and the seeds have grown, killed the boy, and kind of expanded. And as they go to leave, they find that they're wheeling in what appears to be the body of the the park ranger. But when Clark looks at it, he says, "That's not the park ranger I talked to." And they're like, "Well, that's the park ranger. She's the only female one." And he's like, "Gloria." He super speeds out there to confront her, knowing, by the way, I should also point out, when he goes to touch the thing to free the boy, it hurts him. So these aliens from the Phantom Zone can hurt him. Kind of like how one Kryptonian can hurt another Kryptonian. It's that kind of thing, you know? He goes to confront her and immediately gets his ass kicked because, he can't defend. No can defend. So he gets strapped up and he knows that Jimmy is there, but he's hurt. And meanwhile, the ball is going on. Oliver and Lois have shown up. Oliver is dressed like Robin Hood. Gee. Or, okay, to be fair, his classic Green Arrow costume from the comics. But he's supposed to be a Robin Hood. So, Lois is... It's supposed to be Maid Marian. I guess she's in some kind of dress. Lois finally introduces Martha to Oliver. But there is an exchange. When Oliver and Lex see each other for the first time, they kind of call back to their days of Excelsior Prep. Oliver mentions, "Talk to any of the old gang?" Which it does hit on an episode that happens later this season. We'll get to it. But, yeah. And I like Lana's response. "If that's a friend, I hate to see your enemies." Something like that. I like that. It's pie! 314. It's 314. It's pie. But, yeah. So Chloe somehow finds Clark. She's running around yelling, Clark, I can't find you unless you help me." And I'm like, and then she turns around and he's like right there. So because she realized that electricity is the weakness. When she's in the hospital, she noticed that when the plant tried to grow through the electrical circuit, it crumbled it. But, it's wrapped around the TVs and stuff, that doesn't... Okay. So she uses her taser to zap it to free him. And she says it's electricity, blah, blah, blah. They free Jimmy. He's taken to the hospital. She goes with. He goes to confront her at Luther's greenhouse, because earlier in the episode, he immediately thinks Luther's behind it. And that's where she went at his party, because she's at his party with some other dude dressed as Tarzan. He's like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's kicked out. He takes off. And they have a fight. She whips his ass again until... This is very quick, too. I mean, it's very quick. She knocks him on his ass, and she goes, "Kryptonians, always so weak." And then he just turns on the water, and it hits the lamps, which cause it to... her immediately get electrocuted. Clark is fine, though. Obviously. Yeah. Oh, I also want to point out, when we get to the party... We go to the party, and we have a musical guest there, and I wasn't sure who it was at first. Like, "Oh, we're glad to be here." And then the music starts, and it's the All-American Rejects, because they start singing, "It ends tonight." But the way they do this, and I called it, because it's like, they start off with the first song, "The Sound of Taste." The first verse, and we get to the first chorus. "When darkness turns to light, it ends tonight. It ends tonight." Then you get that. That's when Lana walks in her Cleopatra getup. Yeah, so I'm like, that called that. Was it? Is this episode where Lex says something about nobody trusts me, and I went, I'm like, I trust you. And then she says, I trust you. Wow, I've watched the show enough to know a lot of response. Saw that coming. So, yes, Clark saved the day, and then Chloe is complaining to the EMT guy, hey, you have to use the paddles. No, he's not in cardiac arrest. No, we will not defib. And she does it anyway. And defibs him because the electricity goes through and kills the seeds, I guess. But so did they just disintegrate in the stomach, I guess? We get some wrap-ups. I think he and Chloe are fine. I don't remember if there's a wrap-up with them or not. Maybe there is. Lionel's not in this episode. By the way, I want to say I was wrong. Because I've already mentioned Jimmy and Oliver in the same episode. So I think I was thinking of Supernatural. Because I don't think those characters ever cross over in the same episode. So, yeah. So, yeah. And then, so Oliver and Lois have this thing where he wants to kiss her. She's like, oh, you know what? You hit that soda can. Canada, that pop can. Soda can. I say either one, depending on who I'm with. I like to say soda, but sometimes I'll say pop. Because I've come accustomed to the word soda. I like it a lot. But I was raised in Minnesota, where we say pop. If you're raised in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Missouri, Iowa area, maybe not Missouri, but Iowa area, you say pop, which is also a Canadian thing. But I also say soda, because I have friends who call it soda. I call it a soda. Woohoo, a soda. That too. Gravy Iglesias. Woohoo, a soda. Let's just actually diet, which is cool. They asked me, Gabriel, why do you drink diet soda? So I can eat regular cake. Anyway, so she says, you hit that can, and you can kiss me. You can, whatever. So he shoots the arrow, and it seems to miss. She's like, better luck next time. But then he walks up to it, and it got the pop tab looping around, which I don't know how that works, because how small is the tip to fit in there? That's what she said. No, I don't. Woo! Almost spilt it. Cut it. Then we cut to Lex and Lana. This is just mean. Whoever wrote this ending is fucking mean. Okay, this is just mean. So, first of all, Lana basically introduces Lex. They have a little conversation, and then she starts to take clothes off. He's like, what are you doing? She's like, blah, 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 something. And she takes his shirt off. We see his muscles. So he worked out that day. Because they said that on the podcast, that when they're going to be shirtless, they have to work out a little bit to get the, because I wouldn't be able to. Anyway, and then she takes her shirt off, or her double does, because they show them face to face, and when it cuts, it's obviously a double who is standing there topless, because the hair is different. That cannot be her. I don't think it's really Kristen Crick. So, yeah, and they're about to get busy. Have sex. Do it! And immediately when they start going at it, we smash cut to the Kent farm, and we hear a thunk noise, and it's basically Clark. It's the Great Escape. Clark's sitting there, he's throwing the ball against the wall, and that's how it ends. So the reason I say it's mean is we see that Clark and Lana are about to get it on, or not Clark and Lana, he wishes. Lex and Lana are about to get it on, and we smash cut to Clark, basically Clark playing with himself. Like, oh look, love, and oh Clark's all alone. That is mean. That is mean. Oh. Yeah, basically because, they could have made it more mean. You could have had a scene where Chloe and... You could have had everyone getting smooches, Lois and Oliver Jimmy and Chloe, and then Clark's just throwing the ball at the wall. He's all alone. That could have been even meaner. Everyone's getting some except for him. But yeah, we do confirm that Gloria was from the Phantom Zone that earlier, so and now he knows he's not the only one that got out. So yeah, we also know they can hurt him, so that's important too. So yeah, I'll give this another 3. It's another 3. I think these are decent episodes. It's a 3 out of 5 Superman logos. One of those out of 5. Although through this it looks like a Bizarro logo, but it's not. I swear. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.